Thanks for tuning in to the Women's Vibrancy Code, a podcast dedicated to helping women move from exhausted to energized, balance their hormones, and feeling turned on by their life, their lover, and themselves. I'm your host, Maraya Brown. I'm a Yale and functional medicine trained women's health expert, midwife, mom, keynote speaker, and self-made entrepreneur. I'm the founder of my signature program, the Women's Vibrancy Code. So sit back, relax, and let's chat about your energy, hormones, libido, and embracing your feminine power. Oh, and you might want to have pen and paper to take some notes on some of these episodes. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Women's Vibrancy Code podcast. This is a fun celebration. This is our 100th episode. Wow. I look back at when I first started the idea of a podcast of my own. And at that point, I was coaching. My coach at that time was Kelly Roach. And she said, Maraya, you've got to do a podcast. I said, okay, let's go. And I hired a team to help brainstorm and talk about graphics and talk about names and colors. And wow, oh wow, has there been progress since that time. And thank you to all of you for your listenership, for your support, for your reviews. I love hearing from so many of you when you email me the things that you loved about the episodes, you ask questions. It really is fun. And also every once in a while, someone will suggest a guest. I just want to say it is fun to feel like this is interactive and I'm not just speaking here into my little microphone that's here in my mouth. So today I was thinking I would do a little recap of some of the top topics and top experts that have come into the Women's Vibrancy Code and blessed each and every one of you around the world. It's been fun to watch the growth of hitting top charts in multiple countries. And I also want to say out loud, everything counts. If you are one of the thousands that listens and you have not yet offered up a 5-star rating and review, please do. I appreciate you in advance. And while we're on that topic, I thought it might be fun to read a couple of the reviews that have come in. Okay, one fun review. It says, Maraya does an amazing job speaking from the heart while covering a wide array of topics. There are top-notch guests, and the podcast has helped me understand my entire body. E-Rocks Shaka, thank you so much for that 5-star review. From Frustrated Small Business Owner, terrific podcast. I've listened to dozens of Maraya's episodes and constantly recommend the show to my friends. It's a great resource of information about a variety of topics impacting women, from energy levels to sleep to nutrition and beyond. Maraya guides women through different chapters of their lives. As a coach myself who loves personal development, I've appreciated to learn from Maraya and her guests. I was so inspired by her podcast that I participated in a workshop she offered and then enrolled in her year-long program. Since then, with the support of Maraya, her team of experts, and the other women in the program, I've made so many positive moves for my health, career, and happiness. I'm so glad I found out about her and made the investment in myself. I'm now able to show up for myself and others in new ways. Oh my gosh, I know who that is, and I'll maintain her anonymity, but I really do appreciate Frustrated Small Business Owner for all of the support and also for saying yes to receiving from me and the team. It was spectacular to watch you grow. And the last one that is fun for me to read is from Robin, nutritionist. These podcasts are amazing. Maraya delivers such powerful information. Her delivery alone is so peaceful and spirit calming. So thank you, Robin. I really do appreciate. I read the reviews. The 5-star, I think, makes a difference in the algorithm, but more than anything, it's an opportunity for you to say, yes, this is adding value to my life. I'm enjoying this. If you are going to reach out to me, and please do, suggest topics that are of interest to you. I might want to just give some categories. Okay, so I am a midwife. I was attending births for 17 years and stopped attending births in 2017. Since then, I've been 100% online. And I've also run the women's health in federally funded clinics, private practices, international health endeavors in Haiti and Nicaragua and Ghana. And I can cover a lot of different topics, from why am I so exhausted to lots of the aspects around hormones, whether it's mood or sleep or menstrual cycle. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's weight. If you have questions around libido, I often say, is it that you're not turned on, or is it that you're not turned on by what's being offered? And often it's a mixture of both. So I can answer your questions and do episodes on the physiology and the hormones behind turn on, as well as the nuances and relationship dynamics and confidence that shows up around that topic. And then there's a lot that I love to do around confidence. You know, it's fascinating. As a midwife for so long, although I'm not in obstetrics and I'm not attending births anymore, I do feel like I'm still midwifing men and women through chapters of change. Yes, also men. For the last year and a half, I've worked with a number of men in a one-on-one, more VIP realm. Some of them have been women that I worked with and they've sent their husbands my way. And then others have been men that I've met through masterminds, or they've found me online, and I've had the esteemed privilege of being able to support them in their relationship and journey of exhaustion and sleep and libido and a lot of the same conversations. But when I say that I'm midwifing them through chapters of change, who we be is such a big part of that. You know, when I was attending hundreds of births, most of them natural in hospital, birthing center, and home settings, it was really around holding the container for that woman's dreams and for her utmost power. And with that comes surrendering. With that inevitably means looking at the shadows. It means doing the emotional work, getting clear with what we desire. And so I still have the esteemed privilege of midwifing people, but it's through the chapters of change in their lives. And yes, we all still go through the equivalent of transition. For those of you that don't know what transition is in labor, right around that 6 to 8 centimeter mark, there's a moment where you can see it in a woman's eyes. And it's a burst of adrenaline. It feels like fear. It feels like I can't do this. It feels like it reaches this point of too much. And often that's when a woman will cave. You know, she breaks down. She says, give me the epidural, whatever it may be. And for the women who've said, I really want to do this naturally, I really want to push my baby out, whatever it may be, I had the extreme privilege for almost 2 decades to hold that woman, to help her feel safe, to help her in her surrendership, to help her to remember her power. And so even though I'm all online now, and it's not necessarily in obstetrics, and it's not just with women, I'm still holding that container so that they can be in their power. And if need be, look over and see in my eyes, I've got you. You're safe. You can do this. And hold the container for their utmost achievement of their goals, whether that's health goals or financial goals or business goals or relationship goals. It's all related because we're all looking for fulfillment. And in my world, fulfillment means we get to have wealth, we get to have love, and we also get to have our health. So if you have any questions around any of that, topics you'd like me to cover moving forward, please do let me know, and I would love to cover them. Also, at the end, I am going to gift something to each and every one of you, so stay on till the end to learn more about that. Okay, so getting into what have been some of the highlights. Here we are, episode 100. Some of the guest experts that I've had on so far that have been the favorites and had the most downloads. Number 1 is Allison Armstrong. If you are not familiar with Alison Armstrong, wow. She and her work transformed my marriage when we were at one of our first deep lows. And her podcast episode is spectacular. She has studied the male and female brain for decades, and her work is spectacular. The next one that has had a lot of listens is Dr. Vincent Pedre, and he is an expert on gut health. So if you're wanting to understand leaky gut and the way that hormones can be impacted by our gut well-being, he's published books. He has a large notoriety, a very large following. And of course, there have been a number of episodes within the Women's Vibrancy Code podcast specifically about gut health. And for those of you that follow, you know that I also have a team nutritionist, and that is her specialty. She literally is flown around the world to teach clinicians on gut health. And so, yes, Dr. Vincent Pedre, that was a fun one. Dr. Shefali, that was a really fun one that has received a lot of downloads. That was right when she was launching her Free to Be course, and that was quite a juicy conversation. And then the last one that has received a lot of feedback, a lot of downloads, was on reclaiming life after endometriosis. And I interviewed Dr. Irish Karen Orbach. I'm going to make sure that all of the links to all of those episodes are in the show notes. So please just scroll down. You're welcome at the end of this episode to go back and listen to any of those. If those names are like, oh, I didn't realize she had interviewed that person, then you might want to. And stay tuned for some upcoming episodes. I just recently interviewed JJ Virgin, who is a legend in the health industry, specifically when it comes to exercise and peak performance. And we had a very lovely, deep, juicy conversation that kind of migrated across a lot of different topics. So stay tuned for that. It is not yet published. Key topics that have been covered that you might want to go back and revisit that have had a lot of downloads. One is depression and brain fog, bioidentical hormones. Those episodes definitely hydrating quickly. And I get a lot of feedback when I'm in conversations with people that have been listening to this podcast and they end up booking a call with me, or I meet them out on the street, or I meet them at an event. I get a lot of feedback around the many episodes I've done on cycle syncing and our understanding our menstrual rhythms and the nuances of masculine and feminine energy and receivership that all kind of go in that same topic. How to exercise for our menstrual cycle, how to eat based on our dynamic rhythms. The sleep series, wow, I've loved the feedback there. It sounds like that whole series was really impactful for those of you that are having trouble falling asleep, having a hard time staying asleep, waking up feeling like you're not rested. So, like I said, just scroll down into the show notes. You'll be able to find each of those episodes. And if you want to dive into those topics, obviously when it comes to depression and brain fog, I look at it from a nutrition and supplementation perspective, as well as hormonal. And of course, we have to include lifestyle and mindset. Bioidentical hormones, that was with a guest expert. And actually, I interviewed Dr. Rosensweet very recently, and his episode will be coming out. So if you loved the episode on bioidentical hormones and you're wanting more, stay tuned for the episode by Dr. Rosensweet, and he can't wait to come back. I think we're going to do a sequel to his episode. And if you have specific questions around bioidentical hormones, around hormone testing, around what to ask your provider for, you are welcome once again to reach out to me and let me know what those questions are, and I can cover them here in one of these episodes. As a side note, there have been a couple episodes specifically catered towards thyroid well-being. And so if that's been something that you've loved, yes. Our thyroid health is something that is so important for our metabolism, our weight, our energy, our mood, our sleep, our fertility, our menstrual cycles. But often women have something going on with their thyroid, whether it's a sluggish thyroid or Hashimoto's or Graves', and it goes undiagnosed for way too long. And so in the thyroid episode, I dig into some of the testing that you can ask for, the lab ranges to be looking at your own lab tests, because often mainstream providers, they're well-intentioned, they've had great educations, but even for myself, I did my nurse practitioner training at Yale. I felt like I got a great foundational education, but I was not taught how to thoroughly screen for a thyroid condition, even when a woman or a man has glaring symptoms, and then it's like, well, your TSH is normal. So just keep in mind, if that is something that is of interest to you, yes, it's been here in the Women's Vibrancy Code podcast. And if you're wanting more, let me know. Cycle syncing and feminine and masculine energy. There have been many episodes, episode 81, 76, 74, 71, 44. We'll make sure that we put all those links down there, and just start with one. I'm already feeling like, this is so much, right? We've had some amazing experts. We've covered amazing topics. Maybe just pick one or two that are like, ooh, that sparks my interest. Wow, I didn't know she interviewed that person. Ooh, hydrating quickly? Yes, I'd like to learn more. Then just go down to the show notes, pick your episode, and please listen to it. Take it in, and I often say, can you just choose one thing? One thing that you'll say, that's the one thing that I needed to hear. I will take with me and I will integrate, right? We get to consume, we get to digest, we get to assimilate, and we get to detoxify or excrete. Just like with food, it's the same with information. So as you're listening to this episode, there is likely one or two things I've already said that have hit you like a dagger. Okay. You had goosebumps. You had what I call chicken skin after living in Hawaii. I want you to listen to that feeling in your body and follow that. If there's a topic that goes, I've never really thought about it. I didn't know that. Do a deep dive. Go listen to that one episode and take it seriously. Generally, individuals that listen to my podcast are note takers. Take some notes and choose one thing that you say, that I will incorporate. There's my one thing that I am assimilating, right? I consumed, I digested, I assimilated, and then we get to excrete or let go of the rest. I was listening to a talk by Tony Child recently, and he was talking about an event or an experience that he got to have with the Navy SEALs down in Southern California. He and I are part of Breakthrough Mastermind, which is an amazing mastermind. And Breakthrough Mastermind had this experience with the Navy SEALs. That was before I joined the mastermind. And what Tony was talking about really hit home for me. And he was saying that what research has shown from Navy SEALs, peak performers, high achievers, is that when most individuals feel like they are at capacity, when they feel like they are at 100%, what research shows is that they're actually at 40%. So in other words, there is 60% more to go. 60% more capacity when we feel like we're at our limit. So if you are an individual who feels like you're at your limit with time, you feel like you're at your limit with stress, you feel like you're at your limit in business growth and multitasking and hiring, and you're feeling like I don't know what can happen next. You're at your limit with healthcare providers and feel like you've tried all the nutritional changes. You've got the shelf of supplements. Wow. When it comes to peak performance, for the majority, we're actually at 40%. There's more to go. And I don't say that from the perspective of, I want to push you, but I say it from the perspective of reminding you that there's more. Okay. There's more capacity for love. There's more capacity for belonging. There's more capacity for time management. There's more capacity for wealth. There's more capacity for strength. There's more capacity for health. There's more capacity for weight regulation and energy and sleep and relationships. And we get to choose what are my priorities right now. As you're listening to this, you get to get quiet with, what is it that I want to grow? What is it that I would long to have more of? And you think about the triangle. We're looking for fulfillment. If you say, what do I want more of in the realm of wealth? What do I want more of in the realm of health? And what do I want more of in the realm of love? And within the category of love, I put spirituality in that same category. So relationship with God. Insert the word that works for you. And wow, even if you feel like maybe you're at capacity, there is so much more, right? Where are we wearing all the hats as the high achievers, the go-getters, the type A personality, where we're wearing all the hats, making all the decisions all day long? I'm a parent, I'm a community member, I'm a business owner, I am a wife, I am a husband, I am a son, I am a daughter, I'm a brother, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. And we're making decisions all day long, wearing all these hats and often wanting to be perfect or experts in all of them. And just like we ask for help, if you're running a business, you've likely hired a VA. You've likely outsourced various aspects of your business, but because we're clear, we want you in your zone of genius. And when we outsource, we are gifting someone else the opportunity for them to be in their zone of genius. And we say, I'm going to take that hat off so the decision making is no longer on my head. Okay. I'm going to send my children to school so that it's not me wearing the hat of the teacher. I'm going to send my children to the doctors. So it's not me wearing the hat of being their healthcare provider. And so I ask you, is there a hat that you're currently wearing that you can take off? And for me in this podcast, it's generally around the category of health and wellness. So are you still trying to be your own expert? Okay. Are you going to your mainstream primary care provider in the insurance model, asking someone for directions to places they haven't been, and feeling not heard, not seen, sick and tired of simply being given another prescription, and you're saying, this isn't working. I'm not recognizing myself in the mirror. I'm not feeling the vibrant self that I know that I would like to. And so, okay, I thought I was taking the hat off, but who am I asking? Okay, 1/3 of physicians graduate from med school having taken one class. One nutrition class. So only 1/3 of physicians have graduated from med school having taken one nutrition class. They are spectacular when it comes to disease diagnosis and prescription management, okay? Many physicians out there are spectacular at life-saving surgeries. Thank you, thank you. But if you are wanting overall vitality, holistic wellness, you believe that your food is your medicine is your food, you want a comprehensive, fine-tuned container, once again I ask, are you asking people for directions to places they haven't been? In my world, I have been studying nutrition and peak performance and holistic wellness for 23 years. I have been serving women for 23 years as I record this podcast, December of 2023. It is what I live and breathe, and it is me in my zone of genius to midwife people through chapters of change. So is it possible that you can take the hat off and find someone that has a track record, has an established education, and you can hand them the hat, possibly me and my team, possibly not. What I want is for you to find someone that you resonate with. Okay. You feel heard, you feel seen, you can trust them, and you can say, I'm going to take this hat off so that I can go focus on the things that I love and in my purpose on the planet, on my zone of genius, so I can be spectacular at that and serve the world in my ways while gifting others the opportunity to be in their zone of genius. So if this resonates with you, you are welcome once again to reach out. I'm actually not kidding. Okay. In the show notes, you'll find my social media links. You are welcome to email me. Let me know, what questions do you have? What topics would you love covered? What topics thus far have left you with big aha moments? And do you long for support? Okay. Either I will respond. When it comes to my social media, I'm there. I'm the one responding, and I would love to have an interaction with you. So, cheers to the 100th episode. Cheers to each and every one of you for listening. I appreciate you. I appreciate you gifting me the opportunity to pour into you and offer up this podcast and this platform and the work that I do serving individuals all around the planet. I look forward to the next 100 episodes. And for those of you that have listened to the end, I promised I would give a gift. So the gift I would like to give to you is testing and time to review the testing. And specifically, I'm a big fan of the Dutch Plus test. Dutch stands for Dried Urine Total Comprehensive Hormones. It's a great way for me to have a snapshot into what is going on with your hormonal well-being, what is going on with your stress management, how is your body processing the hormones and getting them out of the body. And it's a great way to give you some swift solutions that will help you start feeling better and understand some of the symptoms that you've been experiencing. So generally speaking, to get a Dutch Plus test delivered to your front door, you collect it from urine and saliva at home. And then to have me review it is generally $1,500. I often don't talk much about my a la carte offerings, but there are a la carte offerings. And if you're listening in the month of December, I hope you're paying attention to my 12 offers in December. There's all sorts of no-brainer, amazing opportunities. But for each of you on this episode, regardless of when you're listening, okay, generally to get the Dutch Plus and an hour with me to review it, let me say this. It's not just the test, okay? It's not just having the test done. It is imperative that you have someone who understands the test to read it, okay? Is here to listen to you and understand your specific scenario. I cannot tell you how many individuals have come in and hired me, and they've had a Dutch Plus done in the past, and I look at it and I go, oh my gosh, how did your provider miss that? Glaring results that signify really, really not great scenarios that could have been blunted, and they've gone months and years without understanding, thinking, I had the test done. I had a provider read it. So it's not just the test. It's having someone that lives and breathes this stuff and understands the test and also understands you and the nuances of all of that. And that is my expertise, okay? As a women's health expert, and my love is hormones. And yes, I work with men too. So anyway, Dutch Plus and review is generally $1,500. For each of you, when you've listened to this podcast specifically, I want you to just email me, DM me, find me, and just send the words 100th episode. So 100th, 100th episode, and I will give you the Dutch Plus test and an hour with me for only $800. So rather than $1,500, it's $800, just to say we've celebrated together. Okay? 100th episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing yourself to receive, and let me pour into you a bit and help you get some hand-holding and streamline answers. So simply reach out to me in whatever capacity you would like, whatever form of communication you prefer, and just simply say 100th episode, and someone from my team will get with you. They'll help order the test. They'll help schedule the one-on-one, and we will get moving and grooving to help you start on your path to feeling absolutely and completely spectacular. Okay? Let me say that again. We are deserving of feeling absolutely and completely spectacular. Not because we earn it, simply because it's our birthright. So once again, celebrating our 100th episode. Please share the podcast with your friends. Let's move and groove for the next 100 episodes. And until next time, big love and cheers to you from Maraya Brown and the Women's Vibrancy Code podcast.